I'm so excited. My first book of the read-a-thon. The ending was like perfect, I'm assuming. I don't know, my plan for tonight has ever so slightly gone right out the window. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have another vlog for you guys. At this point it kind of seems like my whole channel is dedicated to vlogs and reading sprints, but to be honest I am not mad about it. Those are my favourite things to do, so it may continue. But for today's vlog I have a very exciting one because myself and my good friend Tabitha, who I will of course link down below, are doing a little 24-hour read-a-thon, and we are doing a 24-hour thriller read-a-thon. So basically for the next 24 hours all we're going to do is read thrillers, and I am so excited about it. I want to see how many thrillers I can read in the next 24 hours. I'm hoping for 3, possibly 4. We'll see how motivated I am and how fast I get through these books, but I am honestly just so excited to just take in all the thriller vibes. It is a rainy, horrible day outside, so it is perfect atmosphere. And yeah, you will know from one of my previous reading vlogs that Tabitha and myself recently buddy read The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell, and we had such a fun time doing it. We want to do more buddy reads in the future, so we thought a little 24-hour readathon would be a great thing to do as well and just have loads of thriller vibes. So yes, I am very excited. We are of course going to be doing some live reading sprints this evening at 7 o'clock, so just to get some like proper intense reading in and maybe see if anyone wants to join in as well. But we are basically going to be reading only thrillers from 12 PM today until 12 PM tomorrow, and I am here for it. So I did have a complete TBR in mind. It was all set out, it was all perfect, and then yesterday I went to a charity shop and saw another book and it kind of put everything up in the air a bit. Just a little bit. So basically I'll start with the books that I definitely already had on my TBR, and those are I Found You by Lisa Jewell. Again, another Lisa Jewell book. I have been on a bit of a Lisa Jewell kick at the moment. I have read 2 of her books, so I've read Invisible Girl and The Family Upstairs, and I loved both of them, so I am really excited to get into this one. My good friend Leah actually gifted me this one for my birthday and I have been dying to get into it ever since. It sounds so good. I will go over like the synopsis and everything, but probably towards the time that I'm actually reading it. I then also have The Prank by LV Matthews. You may have seen from a recent haul that I did, I think, that I bought this one for myself. It was in Asda for like 2 for £8. I'm sure I got this one and I got The Family Upstairs at the same time, and again this one just sounds so good. Like the little tagline there, how far is too far. It just sounds like the perfect thriller vibes, and I am so excited to get into this one as well. And then the book that's putting everything up in the air is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This one was already on my TBR. This one was very kindly gifted to me for my birthday from Rachel Terrace, and I have been dying to read it ever since because she absolutely raves about this book, as do many other people, and I just think I'm going to love it. This one is a YA thriller and I just think it's going to be such a fast, exciting read. So this is the one I was actually planning to read first. And then what put things up in the air was when I went to the charity shop yesterday, I found Good Girl Bad Blood, which is of course the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Now, I had those 3 books in mind. That was all perfect. I had 3 books. I was pretty sure I was going to finish those and just have a great time. But then of course when I saw this in the charity shop I had to pick it up because it's still fairly new, so I'm quite surprised it was even in the charity shop to begin with. So yeah, I had to pick this one up. So now of course I'm thinking when I finish this one I'm gonna want to go on to the sequel. So this could be tricky. So yeah, we'll see. These are all basically on my TBR for the little readathon. I am unsure if I'll be able to read all of them. I may do, we shall see. I'm hoping for 3. So what might happen is I might have to read these 2 and then one of these is going to have to go by the wayside. But we'll see how I'm feeling. I am just excited for all the thriller vibes, as I have said already about a million times in this vlog. But I am planning to start with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think this one will be such a nice fast read just to kick off the readathon and make me feel really productive and motivated to continue. So yeah, I'm going to start with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then we'll see how I feel about this one, whether I go on to the sequel or whether I go on to something else. I'm not entirely sure yet. But this one basically says, the case is closed. 5 years ago, schoolgirl Andy Bell was murdered by Sal Singh. The police know he did it. Everyone in town knows he did it. But having grown up in the same small town that was consumed by the murder, Pippa Fitz Amobi isn't so sure. When she chooses the case as a topic for her final year project, she starts to uncover secrets that someone in town desperately wants to stay hidden. And if the real killer is still out there, how far will they go to keep Pip from the truth? Like, does that not just sound so good? So yeah, I'm definitely going to kick off the readathon with this one. I think it's going to be such good vibes and I'm so excited. So yeah, it is just about to turn 12 o'clock, so I'm going to go and get myself comfy and get started. Hi guys, so we're a couple of hours into the readathon now. I did have a little bit of a rocky start, partly because I had not eaten anything and I didn't realise this until I started trying to read my book and realised that I couldn't focus, and usually that is a sign that I'm hungry. So I've now eaten and I'm doing much better, and I've just finished the first part of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so I'm on page 112 and oh my god. This book is so good. Like, I am well and truly hooked. We're basically following Pip, who, as I said from the blurb, is doing a school project on a young girl called Andy who went missing a few years ago, and her body was never found, but it was said that she was murdered by her boyfriend Sal. However, Sal committed suicide a couple of days afterwards, or supposedly committed suicide. He was found in those sort of circumstances, so it was thought that, like, obviously he felt so guilty that he then killed himself, but because of that he was never able to defend himself in the case, and there never was like a trial because there was no one to like put on trial. So it's basically always been thought, it's like a closed case, it's been thought that Sal murdered Andy and then killed himself. However, there are lots of holes in that theory, and there are other theories that have come to light. So basically, Pip does not believe that Sal is guilty, so she is doing everything she can in this project to try and prove his innocence, and it is so good. Like, it's really well written because you've got like normal chapters of prose, like following Pip and what she's doing and like who she's talking to, and like just like regular things of her friends as well as her project, but then you've also got snippets from her project in here. So there's like transcripts of interviews, there is like logs of like things she's done when she's writing up information she's found. She puts like little footnotes for like the sources that she's used and stuff, which is really interesting. It's a really good touch. They've also got like text messages and stuff like that in here. So yeah, it's kind of like a multimedia sort of format, but it's done so well and I'm really enjoying that format. It's another reason that I think I'm reading it quite fast now, because it's not all like one speed or like one, I don't know how to explain it, like one, not all on one level, I guess. You've got like little breaks and jerks and like other things to be looking at, and like obviously the bits that are in prose are third person, like speaking about Pip, and then the bits that she's writing are like, I did this, I looked up this, I found out this sort of thing. So yeah, it's just really interesting in the way that it's written and I am well and truly hooked. I have my own theories. It's also kind of giving me like Pretty Little Liars vibes, just because Andy, the girl who was murdered, like Pip is finding out more about her and the way she was, and she kind of reminds me of Ali from Pretty Little Liars. Like, it seems like she wasn't really the nicest girl. She was like the pretty popular blonde blue-eyed girl at school, but she didn't really treat anyone that well. Particularly her friends, she kind of like hoarded her beauty and her wealth over them and like made them feel quite small, while at the same time like, so she'd like lend them clothes but then make comments about the way they looked at them in them and things like that. So yeah, she really gives me Ali from Pretty Little Liars vibes, but I kind of like that because I loved Pretty Little Liars. Well, until the end, but we don't talk about the end. But the beginning of Pretty Little Liars, that's got that kind of vibe in it so far. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm really hoping it continues. I know that it's supposed to be really good the whole way through. So yeah, I'm going to get back to reading now. It is like 2:30 and I'm only 100 pages into this book. So that is not amazing. But hopefully I can speed through this in the next few hours because I do really want to be on to a second book by the time we do our sprints at 7. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's doable. I think it's doable. I just need to like get on my reading game. Hi friends, so it is 4:10, so our readathon has been going for 4 hours now and I have just hit the halfway mark of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I mean, there's potential for me to still finish it before our sprints at 7, or I may have to just finish it in the sprints. I'm still hoping that I'm going to finish it beforehand, but we will have to wait and see. But I'm happy for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder now, and I am honestly obsessed with this book. Like, I can't stop reading it. Even if we weren't doing the readathon, I think I would have to like spend my whole day reading this because I just need to know what's going to happen. It is so fast moving. It is, for it being like a YA thriller, it is still very complex. Like, obviously when she's trying to like solve this case, like I said, we're getting like transcripts and logs and things of the things that she's finding out. She's finding so many new characters that could have something to do with it. She's finding connections between different characters that we didn't know about before. There are so many characters that are quite shady. Like, she started a like suspect list, persons of interest list, and that started off with one name and now we have like 6 or 7 on it, and obviously that is probably just going to continue to grow. Either that or it'll start to dwindle now as she like ticks people off as not having anything to do with it. But yeah, so many things keep coming to light, so many new questions keep getting raised, some are being answered, others we're going to have to wait for. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. It is so well written. It is exactly my type of thriller that just like totally keeps you on the edge of your seat and keeps bringing up new questions, and it just flows. Like, it just reads so fast. So I am absolutely loving this. At the moment I am thinking once I finish this, I'm gonna have to go on to the sequel. I just have no idea how there's going to be a sequel. Like, the way this reads, it sounds like you will find out by the end like who the killer is. But then I'm assuming you don't if we then have the second book as well. Or maybe she finds out who the killer is, but she then has to prove to other people who they are. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm really excited to find out. Again, that kind of gives me Pretty Little Liars vibes as well, because it's like a second series of like finding out who A is, sort of thing. I don't know. I have so many theories. Like, I'm still not completely convinced that Andy is actually dead because they never found her body. So, you know. It could be a very sort of Pretty Little Liars type vibe. I don't know. Pip is also getting sort of like threatening messages now, telling her to like stop digging and leave it alone. So she's obviously sort of on to someone, but we just don't know who. There are adult characters it could be, there are young characters it could be. Honestly, it could be anyone, and I am just absolutely here for it. Like, it is such a good time. So yeah, I'm going to continue to read this now. I think Brandon is going to sit in the room with me. He's probably just going to play some Xbox and I'm going to read. So even though I am doing the readathon, we're still kind of spending time together in that we're in the same room. I don't know, sometimes that's good enough for me and it's good enough for him. So, you know, if you've got that type of relationship, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm going to go continue to read now, and I will probably update you either when I finish this or when I start the sprints, whichever one comes first.
Yeah.
Hi guys, so we are currently on our reading sprints for the evening. We are having such a good time. It is so much fun. Like, it's been so nice to properly speak to Tabitha because obviously like we've been messaging and we started voice noting as well, just because particularly today we've had so much to talk about, so it's just been easier to voice note. But it's nice to be like probably able to speak like face to face kind of thing, well, as much as possible as you can with like long distance friendships that you make online. So yeah, it's been absolutely lovely. Like I feel like we're just like so similar, so we really click, so it's just been really nice to speak to her properly and do this readathon with her. But everyone in the chat has also got such good vibes. Everyone has been absolutely lovely. We've been having some good chats about thrillers and other things as well. So yeah, it's just such good vibes tonight, and it's making me so happy and grateful once again that I found this community, because as you can see, it puts a huge smile on my face, and I just feel like I've really found my people and my community, and I just love it. So I'm going to stop now. But yeah, I did actually just finish my first book of the readathon, and that was of course A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 stars because oh my god, this was a ride. Like, it was so good. I think because it was YA, I don't know why, I feel like I expected less from it than I would from like an adult thriller, and I don't really know why, but I just did. But it was so complex, it was so well written, it was so well tied up towards the end, which, as you know, is one of my big problems with thrillers when they're not tied up properly. And also I like a big bang ending, and this one had one of those. So yeah, I absolutely love this. I love the characters, I love the writing style. It was just, yeah, it's going to go down as one of my favourite thrillers because I just loved it so much and I had such a good time reading it. I'm so glad I read it in one sitting because I feel like that just added to like the tension and like the fast pace of it. So would highly recommend this one. However, the ending was like perfect. Like, I feel like everything was tied up so nicely. There are no unanswered questions left. It was such a beautiful ending as well. There's like a romance in this as well that's like quite subtle and kind of behind the scenes, but it is still so nice in the way it develops throughout the book, and it's a really nice addition to the novel. And yeah, I just really like the ending to this, so I'm really confused about how the sequel is going to work, because I don't know, I feel like this story's over. Like, if I just read this not knowing there was a sequel, I would be sure this was a standalone, and I don't know if maybe it was supposed to be originally. I don't know. Like, I have no idea what to expect from the sequel, but I am going to go on to that right now. I've already put my little bookmark in there, so I'm ready to get started on this book, and I'm really excited for it. But like I said, I have no idea what to expect from this. Like, I'm not going to read the blurb obviously because I don't want like to give any spoilers, because you probably need to read the first one to know what the second one's talking about. I'll probably read it just before I start it because I literally have no clue what's going to happen in this book. Like, I'm assuming, I don't know, I have absolutely no idea, but I am excited to find out. This one is like 413 pages, so it's like 20 pages less than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So yeah, it is on the longer side for a readathon, I guess. Like, all of the books on my TBR are novels. I don't know of any like thriller graphic novels or anything like that, so if you do know of anything like that, then please do let me know, because I do plan to do more sort of thrillery readathons in the future, particularly with Tabitha and possibly Leah as well. So if you know of any like thrillery type graphic novels, then please do let me know, because I want to get them and add them to my TBRs for these sort of readathons. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to go with this. I would really love, ideally, to finish this tonight. Like, just really get lost in it and read it for the next however many hours, go to sleep quite late having finished this, and then possibly get up at a good time tomorrow and sneak in another one afterwards. I don't know how realistic that is, but I'd really like to give it a go. So that's the plan at the moment. Obviously things will probably change, but yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. I could pick up something else, but I just really want to stay in this world and stay in Holly Jackson's writing, because I absolutely loved all of her writing in the first one, and I hope that that is continued for this. I want more. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up just now and continue on with our lovely reading sprint. Hi guys, so basically my plan for tonight has ever so slightly gone right out the window. We finished our sprints at like 11:45 maybe. It is now 1. We spent the last over an hour just still on StreamYard chatting away. Obviously, like I said, it was the first of us properly talking face to face, so we had a lot to talk about. Predominantly Marvel and Criminal Minds. But you know, I am not mad about it. We had a lovely chat. So yeah, basically I'm now hugely behind on reading, but I really don't mind. Like, this whole readathon was just a bit of fun and I am totally enjoying myself. I am on page 124 of Good Girl Bad Blood, so I will definitely not be finishing this before I go to sleep tonight. My plan is to have a quick shower, take all my makeup off because I've had this on for far too long, get myself into bed and maybe read a little bit more, possibly get to like the 200-page mark, I don't know, and then get up at a good time tomorrow and finish this off before the 12 o'clock deadline, if you will. So yeah, it'll probably just be that I spend this 24-hour readathon reading both the books in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, but that is totally fine with me. I am so enjoying them, so yeah, I'm totally happy with that. Obviously there were other books I wanted to get onto, but I didn't, and that is okay. Like, I never want to push myself to read if I'm not wanting to do that. If I want to chat and things like that, there are other things that are more important in life. As long as I have enjoyed this readathon, that is all that matters, and I definitely have, so yeah. But quick update on Good Girl Bad Blood before I do get ready for bed. I am really enjoying this. I now understand how there is a sequel. Like, I don't think it's really a spoiler to say that basically in this one the main character Pip is like investigating a different disappearance. So basically in the first one it was someone that disappeared a while ago and she was proving someone's innocence, like I said. In this one, someone that she knows goes missing and the police aren't really doing anything about it, so she then takes it upon herself to investigate it properly. And it's the same sort of format, there's like the same prose and then there's transcripts because she now has a podcast. So she is putting everything up on her podcast to get more exposure to hopefully find this missing person. So you've still got like the transcripts of interviews, you've got like case notes as she like researches. So yeah, it's the same sort of format with like a multimedia type aspect, which I love. Was one of my favourite things about the first book, so I'm really glad that is in the second book as well. And yeah, once again, I have absolutely no idea what is going on. We have so many questions being raised, so many different like ways that this could go, different like strings on the murder board, if you will. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see what happens. I'm hoping it'll be just as well put together as the first one was. There were a couple of people on the sprints tonight that said they actually preferred the second book, which is crazy to me because I loved the first one, so I don't really see how this could possibly match up to it. But we shall see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I definitely know I'm going to enjoy this. But I am going to go get myself ready for bed now, like I said, and I will catch up with you tomorrow before the readathon ends. Hi guys, so as you can probably tell, it is now the next morning. I have just been sitting having my morning coffee and reading a little bit more of Good Girl Bad Blood. I did also read a little bit more last night before I went to sleep. So I have just hit the halfway mark. I am on page 208, so I'm feeling very confident that I can finish this before the readathon is over, which is amazing. Like I said, it's probably just that I'll have read this series within the 24-hour readathon, but that is perfect because I've been wanting to get around to it for so long and I've had such a fun time reading it. This sequel is honestly so good. Like, it is just as gripping as the first one. I have just as much questions and it's really interesting how it's done in like a podcast sort of format. So like I said, we'll have like the interviews and things like that, but because she's got this podcast, she has more people sort of contacting her with tips and things like that, which is really interesting. And because there's more of like a time limit on this one, because the guy that is missing, obviously they want to find him before anything could happen to him, so it's more sort of like intense and like race against time kind of vibes, which I am loving. Yeah, I'm just reading it so fast because it's all very intense and gripping and engaging and I just want to keep reading and find out what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm totally enjoying this and it definitely lives up to the first one, which is what I was worried about. So yeah, I'm definitely going to finish this before the readathon is over, which is so exciting. I don't know if I'll have time to start anything else, but like I said, it's amazing that I'll have finished this series. And on the sprints last night we also found out that someone mentioned in the comments that there's going to be a third one coming out in August, so can't wait for that. I hope it is just as good. I'm sure it will be. I don't know if Holly Jackson has written anything else. I need to sort of research her now because I really love her writing in these. So if she has written anything else, I want to read it. But yeah, I think I'm just going to sit here just now, finish my coffee and continue reading this. Hi guys, so it has just gone 12 o'clock and right on time I have just finished Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I am going to give this one a 5 out of 5 stars as well. It was so good, so well written again, so complex, everything was so well, I need to stop saying so. Everything was like really well thought out, and again everything was wrapped up so well at the end, which is my favourite thing in a good thriller. Again, we had like big twist at the end and then everything wrapped up, which is my favourite formula for a thriller to follow. So yeah, this was like right up my street and I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait for the third book to come out in August. Like, I need it now. This one was really good, like I said, everything was really well thought out and everything, but it's also really interesting to see how Pip getting involved in this world and doing her sort of detective-y type stuff and all of the backlash that she gets from it as well, particularly from like trolls for her podcast or people who are involved in the disappearance, like giving her crap and stuff like that, and how it all kind of like is affecting her mentally, and also the danger that she puts herself in, how that affects her mentally. And I think that is really well covered in this as well, and it's quite an important part of it as well that I really enjoyed reading about. And yeah, I just absolutely love Holly Jackson's writing, so I need to find out if she's written anything else, and if she has, I need to read it. So yeah, that will conclude this little read-a-thon reading vlog. I've had so much fun in the past 24 hours just having the best thriller time with all the thriller vibes, and also of course sharing this read-a-thon with Tabitha and getting to know her better. It's just been such a fun time and I definitely want to do more again soon. Like I have mentioned, I do plan to do a proper organised thriller read-a-thon at the end of the year, but before then I think I will do more, especially myself and Tabitha and Leah as well, do more sort of like 24-hour thriller readathons again, and then we can just announce them a little bit earlier so that other people can get involved if they want to. But yeah, it's just been so much fun and I can't wait. I am no longer ashamed of my thriller loving self. So yeah, that will conclude this reading vlog. If you did enjoy this video, then do please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings, and I will see you in my next one.